Hi, nice to meet you.
Bunny, how'd you get receive that name?
um, I grew up off the grid on like a farm, and one of our main sources of meat, we bred and raised rabbits for meat. Normally, it's like Flemish Giants, and yeah, and I always resonated with rabbits. They've been in every corner of my life, and I love them. I think they're super cool. I resonate with how they're considered to be a symbol of innocence, but also a symbol of sexualization. So it's a whole thing, but yeah, it's super interesting.
That is super deep. I like that. So it goes deeper than just Bunny.
Yes, it's there's a whole background on that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you started calling yourself that or someone else?
I started calling myself that at about 13 or 14, I think. I just was like, I don't like my real name. My dad named me that. I'm just like, I'm not vibing with this. I'm changing it. I think everyone should do that. If they don't like it, just change it. You know?
I like that because that's definitely not your government name.
Oh, we'll be soon though. We'll be soon.
There you go.
I'm gonna get it changed.
I like that. I like that. Now, explain to the viewers here what your look means to you.
Um, my look means just doing whatever you like not caring what people think about you, and really just like, I hate the stigma that's around people that look different. People like just weird about it, and I think you should always try to like defy that stereotype and try to just show people that it's like, no matter how you look, everyone can be cool, everyone's interesting, and everyone deserves a shot at friendship and being kind. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know what it looks like to me? When I look at like ancient aliens and sculptures like that, it reminds me of very like ancient ancestral things that they would do to their temple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and a lot of body modification comes from like other cultures, like native cultures and things like that. I don't know all the specifics. I want to do more research on that because I do love body modification and learning about it. But definitely look into that. It's super cool to learn about it.
Because and that's what I tell people that don't really understand and have a limited perspective is most of our habits are ancient.
Okay. It's passed down through generations, and people take it and they change it, and it changes with time. Like, I mean, a lot of the old piercings and stuff were made from like wood or bone or things like that, and now we don't use that. We use more metal and other things, but it's super interesting. I love that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Would be your next modification?
I'm currently stretching my nostrils to a 6 gauge.
Can I look at it?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're a little like red because I just stretched them like last night, and this isn't like the best way to stretch, but being on the road, it's definitely the easiest. I really want to go to a 0 in my nostrils, and a 0 here and an inch and a half here. My last piercing is going to be my dimples, and I'm going to stretch them to maybe a 6 gauge, and then after that, I'll probably be done with piercings.
Awesome. What about tattoos? Any ideas for that?
Oh yeah, so I've done all of my own tattoos except for this one. Little rabbits, little anarchy sign.
You did all of these
Yeah, except for this one.
except for the juice box?
Yeah,
Or the cigarette?
It says don't smoke. My friend did that one. Yeah, I love tattoos.
So every time you light that cigarette up, you're defying that.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, this will be funny. I'll be telling myself not to smoke, but it's like, I'm probably never gonna stop.
Hey, at least you're honest with yourself.
Yeah, I do need to stop. Get out of my lungs.
So, Bunny, you consider yourself an artist.
Yes, I do.
What kind of fine arts do you participate in?
Music, painting, drawing, sculpting, pretty much everything. Some things I really want to get into is like graffiti, street art. Really love like a lot of like the murals and things like that. Personally, I love poetry and music. I love music over any other type of art, but I'm not very good at writing music or poems and things like that, so I kind of take feelings that I feel that I can't express with words, and I paint them into pictures and things like that. So a lot of my paintings are like weird, and people are like, what's going on here? What does it mean? And it's like, you have to find the poem in the painting. That's what I would say.
What led you to thinking so deep?
I've had a lot of life. I understand I'm pretty young and immature. That comes with the age, but
How old are you?
19. But I've been through a lot of things, and sometimes I feel like I've been around for like 3,000 years, and it's just been like conglomerated into 19 years. But I've always really believed in like thinking deep, criticizing every thought I have, and not criticizing in a bad way. But every time I think something, I'm like, okay, what's a better way I could think this? What's a better way I could word this? Just constantly trying to be like progressive with my thought process and trying to be better and try to find like the final form of like thinking and being a person, you know?
Would you say you're trying to reach ascension?
I can't completely say I know what that word means, but
Ascension would be to rise to the next level
oh, I mean, yeah, in my own way,
in consciousness.
yeah. I mean, I think everyone is trying to do that in some way. That's why we learn, that's why we go to school, things like that. I definitely just want to be like as smart and kind and loving as I possibly can be while I'm on Earth, and just give everyone a hug. And someday I want to be able to do like motivational speeches for like teenagers and stuff like that, and help them get into a good mindset, you know?
Mhm. How would you explain to someone the way you live your current lifestyle?
Dare I say a nomad? Would that be the word? I think it would be. Just kind of like traveling from place to place, seeing what things are like in different areas. So like houseless nomad, kind of.
Here's creation, roadbound bunny. That's how I would tell people.
Yeah, I'm a roadbound rabbit.
Roadbound rabbit, that's what it is.
Yeah, I just like going places and meeting people and just connecting, and I love talking to people and learning their stories, no matter who they are or honestly whatever drug they're on too. Sometimes I just be sitting there just like listening to whatever crazy stuff they're saying, and I'm like, where's the truth in this? Where's the sober thoughts in these methed out words? I don't
Two
know.
truths and one lie.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like my audience does when I interview people.
Yeah.
They do that. They try to call people out.
Yeah,
It's very interesting.
You have to. Nothing in life is black and white. You have to find the gray areas. And even when you're talking to someone and say they're on drugs or something and they make no sense, there you can sit there and if you really listen, you can find the gray area between those words and you can find what they're actually trying to say. Sometimes it's super interesting. I love it.
Because another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Oh yeah, no. Speaking of that, I love dumpster diving. I love it. It's so fun.
We should do a vlog at night with you dumpster diving. That would be cool.
Dude, we should.
Like
It's
an
so
inside journalist kind of like
I
vibe,
gotta
you know,
show
like
you
behind the
ways to
sign.
do it where no one catches you. Yeah.
That would be
it's so
fire.
fun. Especially like Goodwills and stuff like that. Sometimes they just like throw out the things they don't put on the shelf, and sometimes you can just go back there and find good stuff. It's great.
Who taught you to dumpster dive?
Myself. I don't know. I've met people along the way who've given me tips, but it's just like dumpsters. They're just like they're beautiful. They're beautiful creations. They smell like shit, but like that's me. I'm a beautiful creation, but I smell like shit too, man.
I thought it was interesting. Now there was deeper meaning to you saying standing by the trash can.
Yeah, there is.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
You're very interesting. How long do you think you'll see yourself here in this town?
6 months to a year, depending on how easily I'm able to get on my feet with art here. And just like housing and resources too. Like I said, traveling, so I try to like, everywhere I go, I try to figure out the resources, I try to find the flaws in the resources. And eventually down the road, I want to fix those, find the holes and patch them in the best way I can. So depending on if the resources are semi-good here, I might stay longer, but we'll see.
And from what I understand is you're almost like an observationist where each city you go to. What are you trying to learn, do you think?
I think I'm trying to learn how people work. There's like there's a big part of me that just doesn't really understand people, but like to people watch, kind of see how they work and so like that. And what was the question again? Sorry, I forgot.
Because you told me you go into each city and you start looking at how the homeless people are treated.
Yeah.
You see how the city, the difference within the city, how that's a direct turnaround to the impact of the homeless people's lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's like there's also a lot of like goes into me doing this is, yes, I am homeless by choice in some ways. Some ways I'm not. It's a whole complex thing, but there's going to be struggles that I will never be able to encounter or understand because I did do this by choice, and I am like a privileged white person. Like, there's a lot of things I will never understand, but I want to try to understand these things from as many perspectives as I can and try to get as many voices heard down the road as possible. Actually bring in homeless people. They can actually talk about, because like people would see homelessness completely differently if they actually talked to homeless people and didn't treat them, like I said, like stray dogs at night. That's like pretty much how they treat people. You can't sleep anywhere. If they don't give you food, they're like, oh, fuck you, you're probably a drug addict. You know, like, that's so fucked up. These people have so much to teach you. They're so beautiful. And there's crazy people, don't get me wrong. But I think people should get homeless.
Where there's good, there's always bad. Wow, that's very interesting. That's interesting how you live that lifestyle. That some people, they want to take a jump into that lifestyle because their 9-to-5 job at Google isn't working out for them, and they want to be free.
Yeah, and it is freedom, but it's like not freedom. That's like confusing. It's hard to explain, but it's not freedom. And when you are homeless, every day is going to be a struggle to find food, water, resources, to stay mentally stable. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes there's days where people offer me drugs or back when I'm like, I'm bored of shit. That's another issue, is boredom. That's a huge issue. And I'm just like, today might be the day I do this because I'm so tired and I'm so bored. I want to escape into a different reality. This is not freedom. This is fun for some people, and if there was more resources, it could be freedom. But it is not. It's kind of a cage. Once you're homeless, if you lose your identification and stuff, there's like not a lot of ways of re-entering society. Some people have been homeless for so long they can't re-enter society because they're so used to sleeping outside. They can't sleep in a house anymore. They can't function. They're just like, this. I'm not used to this. And it's like it happens a lot with like prison and stuff like that. People enter prison, and when they re-enter society, they just like can't do it sometimes. So there is freedom. You do get to walk wherever you want, but if you walk, you're gonna chafe in places you've never chafed before. That's for sure. And that's not always freedom. That sucks because that will put you in the ground for a while.
19 years old with such vast knowledge.
I do my best. That was a hair flip.
Did you have to grow up young?
Yeah. I grew up like off grid in a crazy ass situation, and I kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like raised my family in some ways. My parents were alcoholics really bad, and my dad was into some crazy shit. So I did a lot of the housework and things like that, which also made me grow up very fast. Just being like the only old person in the house that's conscious most of the time, And that's like a lot of kids out here.